China's secret of youth, the real-life reversal of aging. Imagine standing in front of a mirror and seeing time pause. The marks of age that once felt inevitable suddenly seem temporary, as if they were written in a code that could be changed. In a quiet laboratory in China, lit by the pale glow of nitrogen vapor and humming machines, scientists have taken a step once believed impossible. They have engineered cells that do not merely survive aging, but push back against it. Not folklore, not science fiction, but a tangible breakthrough that may open the first real doorway to human rejuvenation. To understand how, we must return to the smallest parts of us. Inside every organ, cells live predictable lives. They grow, divide, repair, and eventually falter. But some cells don't follow the plan. They stop dividing but remain alive, locked in a dysfunctional limbo. These are senescent cells, a biological rust that spreads through tissues, disrupting communication, fueling inflammation, and accelerating decline from the inside out. Aging is not simply the passage of years. It is the gradual build-up of this cellular damage that our bodies can no longer keep ahead of. 2025. Inside the halls of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, a team of researchers achieved a breakthrough that had been considered impossible for decades. While studying why cells age, they discovered that certain genetic switches, tiny regulators within our DNA, determine how resilient a cell can be against stress, damage, and time itself. Instead of simply observing the decay, the scientists attempted something bold. They reprogrammed these switches. Using advanced genomic editing and stem cell engineering, they created a new type of cell, senescence-resistant mesenchymal precursor cells. Cells are designed not just to live longer, but to withstand the internal processes that usually push them toward aging. Under the microscope, these modified cells behave differently. They divided more efficiently, repaired themselves faster, and produced fewer toxic byproducts that typically accumulate with age. Most remarkable of all, when grown alongside regular aging cells, they influence their neighbours, reducing stress signals, improving survival, and promoting regeneration. For the first time, scientists saw not just resistance to aging, but the potential to reverse parts of it. To understand what these cells could do inside a living organism, researchers turned to macaques, animals whose biology, behaviour, and DNA make them one of our closest scientific mirrors. In a carefully monitored study, the engineered cells were injected into aging macaques over a span of 44 weeks. Every dose, every reaction, every change in behaviour was recorded with precision. At first, the effects were subtle: slightly improved movement, more consistent appetite, a calmer stress response. But as the weeks passed, scientists began to notice something extraordinary. Tissue scans revealed early signs of rejuvenation, brain regions with stronger connectivity, bones showing improved density, and reproductive organs exhibiting levels of activity rarely seen in older animals. Blood tests confirmed the trend: reduced inflammation, healthier lipid levels, and a decline in molecular markers associated with cellular aging. The macaques themselves told an even clearer story. Their movements became quicker and more coordinated, their reactions sharper. Their curiosity, once dulled by age, began to return. It was as if their bodies were rediscovering functions they had started to forget. For the researchers watching behind the glass, it was not just a result. It was a glimpse into a future long believed unattainable. The results astonished even the researchers. Brain scans showed improved neural activity in regions that typically dim with age. Memory tests sharpened. reaction times increased. Inside the body, inflammation markers dropped. Fibrotic scars, once considered permanent, began to disappear. Fat deposits in organs thinned. Cell structures looked younger, cleaner, stronger. And then came the most remarkable measurement: a reversal of biological age, not by months, but by 5 to 7 years. What makes these cells so transformative? Unlike drugs that merely soften the symptoms of aging, these engineered cells act at its source, inside the mechanisms that define how our bodies grow, repair, and decline. When they enter damaged tissues, they behave almost like biological messengers. They release precise molecular signals that guide nearby cells to repair, divide, and restore themselves, just as they did in youth. They help stabilize fragile DNA strands that have been wearing down for decades. They reduce oxidative stress, the slow, invisible burn that ages every organ. They revive communication pathways between cells, allowing tissues to coordinate healing with the clarity they once had in early life. And deep inside the cellular core, they help rebuild mitochondrial energy systems, bringing back the power needed for strength, movement, and memory. Instead of simply slowing the march of aging, these cells appear to retrain the body's own systems, teaching them how to act young again, not through force, but by restoring the instructions written in our biology long ago. If similar results can be achieved in humans, we may be standing at the edge of a medical revolution. Imagine reaching old age without the quiet fading of strength and clarity, where memory stays sharp, bones remain resilient, and organs continue to function not like relics of a past life, but as active living systems. This breakthrough could change the way we treat almost every age-related disease, from heart conditions to neurodegeneration. Instead of managing decline, we could delay it or reshape it entirely. But scientists know the road ahead is complex. Human biology is unpredictable, and long-term effects must be understood before these discoveries can reach the world. Still, the direction is unmistakable. For the first time, we are not only observing aging, we are learning how to influence it. And with each experiment, the once impossible future moves a little closer. One day, the secret of youth may not be hidden in myth, but delivered through a therapy, a syringe, or even a single pill. A future where extending youth is as normal as treating a fever. A future where we no longer fear the slow erosion of time, because time itself has become something we can guide. When that day comes, humanity may look not backward, but forward, toward its first glimpse of longevity without limits. Thank you for watching.